Hello and welcome to the Watering Hole. Thanks for checking out this clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that'll make the baby Jesus cry, and I know how much you guys love making the baby Jesus cry. So fun fact, I thought this would be the shortest of the news articles.
Sorry.
That's okay.
It would have been if I hadn't just left off a clip with it.
You know what? That's fine. I posted about this a little while ago, but I'm actually in the process of I'm being assessed for ADHD. So this is my jam.
Diagnosed.
There we go. All right.
And medicated, and it's only helped sometimes.
Actually, I'm going to make a standalone video on that. But so when I announced it, all of what I got was supportive. But there were a couple comments that were supportive. They were intending on being supportive, but they were saying things like, "Don't let them drug you out of existence," or stuff like that. And they meant
drug you if
they meant well.
You.
But it's yeah, you know what? I'm, and this is something that actually a lot of ADHD people find, is that I am already self-medicating with caffeine because that's one of the treatments, is a stimulant. And I've actually recently cut back. Before recently, I would drink 1.5 liters of tea a day, and a high caffeine, more caffeine than a cup of coffee type of tea.
It absolutely drives me bonkers when people. So I'm not at the moment, but I was for a long time on antidepressants, anti-anxiety pills. And
that's another thing, is that about 75% of people with ADHD also have something else.
Yes. Now, part of the reason I'm not on them right now is because I'm medicated for ADHD, and my life feels like I can actually do things. I can actually get things done, which surprisingly makes me feel less anxious.
Yeah.
That's when people because I've always been pretty outspoken about destigmatizing mental health, and the fact that if you and your doctor, psychiatrist, come to a conclusion that you should try medication, there's absolutely no shame in that.
Yeah.
It's not a sign of weakness. It's not anything. It is something. There is an imbalance in your brain that can be helped.
Yeah.
If someone said, I have cancer and there's a treatment, you wouldn't shame them for taking the treatment.
Some
right?
people do.
Some people do.
Steve Jobs died because he didn't get actual treatment because he went to the pseudoscience stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you can choose that for yourself, but somebody else shouldn't be allowed to tell you that's weakness to seek treatment.
Your point is well taken. It's just that no matter what you pick, there's going to be someone that's don't go with the traditional or with the standard medicine. Go with the alternate medicine.
I'm sure. Show me your certifications. Where did you study?
That's actually one of the things I'm I think I am probably seeking medication because this was another comment that I got, was that I should be focused on my kids because at my age I probably have already figured everything out for myself, all the coping mechanisms that I need for myself now.
Oh my god.
And I'm just gonna look over here. I'm not gonna show you guys over there because that would make me anxious because it's a disaster over there. This is not a very tidy setup that I have here. And this is about as tidy as I'm capable of getting at the moment. My house is a disaster. It's rough, and I have a hard time with that. And this is something that I do not have my coping mechanisms all worked out. What I had was a wife who was compensating for what I was lacking. And so now that I don't have that, right. I've suspected that I've had it for about 2 or 3 years now. But this has been the impetus, my what caused me to go and look for a diagnosis was that my son had a track meet that he wanted me to go to, and I really wanted to go to it because I love seeing my kids compete and stuff like that. And the kids know I forget things, so he reminded me as he left for school. And he shut the door. He went to school. I drove down to Walmart, picked up the grocery. Didn't even have to do the shopping. I do the curbside pickup thing, which I feel like that's an accessibility necessity for people with ADHD because I do not do well in the store at all. So I did the curbside pickup. So I was gone for like 10 minutes. Get back home, completely forgot. Sat down on my computer, worked on my videos all day. My son that wasn't at the track meets got home from school at 3 o'clock. And as soon as I heard the door shut, it was like, shit, I was supposed to go to the school. Fuck. Ah. And I was so mad at myself that finally gave me the kick in the pants I needed to call the doctor. And
Oh, I get it. Yeah, I get it.
anyway,
Like,
back to some pelvises.
this is what I'll say. If you are diagnosed with ADHD, I don't think you need to hear this, but for anybody else that might need to hear it, absolutely try the medication because it has changed my life.
And that's what I've heard from a lot of people. That was so I don't want to make it sound like this was a lot of people saying this sort of thing, because most like there were at least 10 or 12 comments of people saying that like when I got the medication, it changed my life. It was amazing.
Yes.
So and like I said, even the people that were saying these things, they were trying to help. They were
of course.
Yeah.
I mean, most people aren't intentionally there to just be a dickhead.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know that people. First of all, most people that are saying this have actually not been diagnosed with ADHD and have not been medicated.
Ooh, sorry. I did want to get back to the pelvises, but Drew Harrison just said caffeine is not an addiction.
It is.
I would just like to point out, it might have been, I forget what YouTube channel it was. It's one of the sciencey related ones that has all sorts of, they actually went through exactly what happens to your body when you stop drinking caffeine. This is what made me cut down on it. And it literally, like, it is an addictive drug. You go through with like legitimate withdrawal. Like the shakes that you get when you stop drinking your coffee, that is withdrawal. That's not just like, oh, I need my caffeine. That is withdrawal, literally.
Yeah, like, have you ever seen someone that's addicted to alcohol?
Oh, no, okay, no, he said apparently his phone cut him off early. Caffeine is not an addiction, caffeine is life.
Oh,
okay.
I was like, buddy, like, we're gonna have a moment.
Sorry.
Yeah.
To bring it back to the ADHD thing, this is something like it's been helpful just knowing that this is something for, like, so just being able to recognize something as like, this is something that I'm doing. This is a symptom of ADHD. That can actually like flip a little switch in my brain that's like, okay, well, I know it's a symptom of my ADHD now, so I can do something, like do it slightly differently so I can actually take care of it or whatever. And making appointments and scheduling people for these streams is one of those things. Like, I will sit down and I'll be like, okay, I need to ask someone, and I decide who I want to ask, and then I'll open up the chat window and then I just freeze.
I do something else.
And like it's the same. Like, I knew I should call my doctor for months, and I would like get out my phone, I'd get the phone number ready, and then I'd just be like, I have other things that need doing right now.
Oh, I mean, so one of the things I think is important in recognizing is that, like, even if you don't know you have ADHD, but you're like, you think you probably do based on everything you've read, it allows you a degree of compassion with yourself. That's not just like, I'm a horrible person, that's why I always forget things. Or I'm a horrible person, that's why I can't get things done, right?
Oh,
no,
it was okay. Such a hit to my self-esteem seeing what I can't do.
Right. You just feel like you're just not trying hard enough.
And also, and apparently this is also a symptom of ADHD, is that I feel almost guilty saying that it's an ADHD thing, like it's an excuse for me to not do it. But it's like, you have to come to terms with like, this is how my brain works, so you need to figure out.
Yep. Exactly. No, you're 100%.
There are people in the chat saying to use the add button. I'm not going to use the add button.
But yeah, I mean, just to confirm, like, I did so many of the same things. Like, I would go specifically to do something. I'm going to go answer this message right now. And then I go to Twitter to answer the message, and the first tweet that pops up, all of my attention goes there, and I just forget that I was even going to do that thing.
I have shortcuts on my Stream Deck that take me directly to YouTube Creator Studio, because one of the things that I do in my videos is I have a comment of the day that I read at the end, and the whole idea behind that is like, it encourages people to continue watching to the end of the video, because so they can see the comment. Yeah. It's not like a huge part of my videos, but it's something, and some people actually enjoy it. But I found that if I go to youtube.com and then I mean to click on the thing and go to the Creator Studio through our little logo thing that we get, I will like as soon as the homepage loads up, I'll see a video that catches my eye. I'll be like, oh, I got time for one video before I do this. Click on the one video, and then 2 hours later, oh shit, I got to choose a comment of the day.
Yeah, yep. No,
So I have a shortcut on my Stream Deck that will take me directly to Creator Studio, so I don't even see the homepage.
I mean, I think people that have not been diagnosed with ADHD, I know at least I did, they find ways to cope and to manage and to create plans that would that help them. One of the things that I found so freeing about finally being medicated was that I didn't have to have workarounds for every single thing in my life, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I need to pay my credit card bill. I'm just going to do that instead of thinking about it for 6 years and then having a late fee because I just couldn't remember or care enough to do this mundane, repetitive task. And that's one thing of many. We could talk for hours about the symptoms of ADHD. And shameless plug, the Unholy Trinity just put out an episode with Katie Asaurus from TikTok, she has 1 million something followers, and all of her content is about ADHD. Incredibly useful stuff if anyone's interested. But
because of their kerfuffle at the beginning, I probably forgot to plug your stuff. Your links are in the description. Well, the link to your links
it's fine.
in the description.
And I also have my own individual YouTube channel where I'm doing a bunch of interviews and whatever. But if y'all want to check out Unholy Trinity, we'd love to have you there too.
I had you tagged in Unholy Trinity because I didn't know about that one.
Oh, that's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
But I also have your link site is in the description, so they should all be there, right?
Yeah, I think so. If not, it's my fault, not yours. But yeah, it's amazing how many things that we sort of assign and think we're just lazy or don't care enough or aren't trying hard enough. In reality, it's just we have I forget what my doctor called it, a
executive function.
Well, right, executive function disorder, but there's some brain term that you're not getting enough of, and when you finally get that balanced out, I remember thinking after I started taking medication, this is how y'all just live every day. You just decide to do something and then you do it, and it's not this battle with yourself to do it or get it done or remember to do it. Yeah. Anyway, I'll reel it in because I could talk about this forever because I'm Jesus.
I will listen to you talk about it I've been binge watching the what's the channel called? It's all about ADHD. If I just go to YouTube, it'll probably recommend me 5 videos from there. The cat's on my lap, so it's making it hard. Yeah, there we go. How to ADHD.
Yeah.
I've been binge watching that channel, and there's just so much of what she's saying is just this makes me feel better about who I am.
Yes.
I'm not a bad person for having a mess over there. Yes, I do need to deal with it at some point. I do need to be an adult or whatever, but the fact that I have trouble with that does not make me a bad person. Because that you're right. Sometimes I feel like I'm being lazy, and because it's
Yep.
I don't know. And there have been times when I look at stuff that I need to do. I get overwhelmed, and I just stand there staring off into the middle distance, not able to start anything.
Yeah. Yes, and I think so I used to be this person, and I still do it, but it's not as bad. Now, when I say I'm medicated, I am, and lots of things have gotten better. It's not a cure-all. You don't become this perfect person, right?
Yeah.
But I used to say I'm going to make breakfast in the morning. I'd open things. I'd say I peel the label off something, not the label, but open something, and then I just forget that I need to throw that piece of plastic away because I just took what I needed and moved to the next thing. And then go to the next thing. And I'm okay, I put it in the pan, I do whatever, I take it out of the pan, and then I just forget that the pan exists and needs to be washed. And I get, I got the plate from the cabinet, I put everything on the plate and just forgot that the cabinet then needs to be closed. There's just all of these things that I was just not even thinking of doing because my brain said, this is the next task, this is all you need. And then everything behind me just got kind of whatever.
I had a bag of frozen vegetables that just got left on the counter this week after my groceries order because they didn't fit in the freezer until I rearranged some stuff. So I rearranged some stuff, and then I noticed something else I had to do.
Yeah. It's when I would struggle because I've always hated the dishes. That's for a variety of reasons. But part of it was that I would like go to do the dishes, and I'd say, okay, I'm going to do these dishes, and then I'd realize, well, actually, like I need to also clear out the dishwasher, because otherwise I have no place to put these dishes. Okay, so I start clearing out the dishwasher and putting them away. I realized once I opened the cabinet, like actually these cabinets need to be wiped down. So then I like start wiping down the cabinets, and then I realized, oh, that was my last like thing of wipes. Okay, I need to go order those wipes. And then like an hour and a half later, I haven't actually finished any of the things. I didn't finish the dishes. I didn't finish putting them away. I didn't finish wiping things down. Once I got to my computer, I probably didn't finish buying the wipes again. Like,
Yeah, well, that's one of the things I love about the grocery pickup at Walmart is that like as I'm going through the week, as I think of things, I can just add them so that I don't need to
right.
remember them. Um,
Yeah.
and that's and this I can't tell you how many times I actually have a meal planning app because I know like I can't do the shopping unless I know what I'm having for the week. I can't just buy a bunch of food and then just cook whatever I want. Like I have to plan it out, otherwise the kids don't eat and they like eating.
Right.
So
That's a problem. Yeah.
yeah, but I can't tell you how many times I've done stuff like I'll plan a roast on this day and I'll get the recipe for there's a crock pot roast that we do it's really good that you just put like a powdered gravy thing in with some cream of mushroom soup and a bit of and like it's a nice tender roast that cooks all day and it's delightful. And so I'll order the gravy and I'll order the cream of mushroom soup and I'll order like everything that I need for and I forget to order the roast. And
Oh.
like this week my kids had double pizza pockets because
Mm.
I forgot to order bread for their sandwiches.
Hey, no complaints. But yeah, like,
Yeah, no, they didn't mind
yeah.
extra pizza pockets. And well, the reason I have extra pizza pockets is because my daughter being a vegetarian, she gets the 3 cheese pizza pockets and my boys like
Right.
the pepperoni ones. And
Yeah.
when I'm doing the shopping, I know that if I get up from like I usually am on the laptop on the couch and like I know if I get up and go check and see if I have everything that I need, I'll get distracted by something and I won't finish the grocery order. So I just think, okay, do I already have pizza pockets? I don't know. I will just order 1 box of each. So there's almost always extra cheese pizza pockets because she's 1 kid versus the boys are 2 kids.
Right. Yeah. But like stuff like that, even though it works out practically, or sometimes it works out practically, it still doesn't negate that feeling of defeat that comes with having planned this whole thing and having tried really hard to do the thing and then somehow just completely missing the boat on the like most important part
Yeah,
of the
like
thing.
oh, I
And so
forgot
you
to get
still feel
stuff
like
that I need to feed my children.
right. Like so of course you still feel bad and like defeated and like you're somehow this like moral failing when in reality it's just like the spoons aren't they're not in order, they're not all there, right? Like something's not happening. um
All
but
right.
yeah, I hope you
Well, it's
I know you're
it's
getting assessed, but I hope it goes well.
yeah. Well, my doctor's already said like I'm pretty sure you have it, but we need to go through the formalities.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
I ended
of
up
course, this is probably true for pretty much everyone who goes for the assessment. As soon as I stepped out of the doctor's office door, I was just like, oh, I meant to tell her about this and this and this and this.
yep. Yeah, and I actually, so because of healthcare here, I have, I mean, fortunately I have healthcare, but the healthcare that I have, um
Okay, so there's someone in the chat saying, should we nag Viced on every stream to go and get diagnosed instead of just talking about it?
yes.
So, yeah, no, I have, since the last time, well, maybe not since the last time I talked about it, but since my stream with Surus, where we were joking about how we're both probably ADHD, I have seen my doctor. And right now what's happening is I have the paperwork for blood work to make sure that it's safe to give me the drugs
Right.
sitting in the dining room where I now need to do that thing where I make an appointment by
So
looking at
the
my
answer is yes until he tells you that he's done that. The answer is
yeah.
yes. Make him do it on stream. Fill it out.
Trying to trick them
Um,
into thinking I'm healthy by like spending 2 days eating salads and then going for blood work.
be healthy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that won't
I
trick them. That won't trick
I
them.
ended up going through telehealth because I knew that if I went through my system with the way healthcare is here and the healthcare that I have, it was going to take so goddamn long that I wouldn't be able to follow through with it. Like I would just not do it. Like I wouldn't remember. It just wouldn't happen. And when I did my telehealth appointment with my provider, I called, we went through the questionnaire, and at the end of it, she was like, yeah, yeah, you have ADHD. Like, it literally took one 20-minute conversation because it's just like I hit so many
Yeah.
of those markers.
Well, see, I
Um,
was worried about being judged, and I don't know why. My doctor's always been a very open, honest. Like I have a great doctor. She's great, and she's very busy. So sometimes it's like
right.
she's in a rush, but she is a very good doctor, and she's never been judgmental about anything. Even the one time I said no, I don't want to give my kids the flu shot. That was stupid, but but yeah. So I don't know why I was worried about that, but I was. But like when I went for it, it was basically like after I answered her questions, she basically then sat down and explained to me a bunch of stuff that I had already learned exactly from the How to ADHD channel. And
Right.
the funny thing was a lot of it was stuff that she was warning that like not all healthcare professionals keep up to date with the most recent stuff. So your doctor might not be aware of this sort of thing yet.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was like prepared to talk about all the stuff that I learned from other people with ADHD. And she was like, she already knew it. So it's like, okay, great.
She has
I,
ADHD.
does maybe I don't know.
Probably. No, no, I know. I'm obviously not a doctor, but usually if someone is keeping up with something that's very specific like that, again, not a doctor, but
Could just be that she's a good doctor.
it could be. But how do you keep up with, was she a psychiatrist?
I
Like, how do you keep up with the
well, she,
most, like, I'm just not judgment. I'm just curious. Like, as a
I
doctor, if you're a general practitioner, how would you keep up with literally all cutting
yeah,
edge of
literally
everything?
everything. I don't know. Well, she does deal specifically with children mostly.
Oh, okay. That makes
So
sense. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, like like I think I actually come to think of it, I'm not sure how she keeps up with anything because she delivers babies. She's in.
Oh,
I don't.
goodness.
I don't think she does. I don't think she acts as a gynecologist for people, but she does have like she's qualified
Right,
as
right, right. Yeah,
an
yeah.
obstetrician,
Right.
and a pediatrician, and like she's I don't know, she's super overqualified for
All the
everything.
things.
She's a great doctor. I love my
She
doctor.
sounds like it. Shout out to
Anyway,
Vice Rhino's doctor.
the stream is now 40 minutes longer than they normally are.
Okay, okay.
I think I'm gonna get an extra segment just on ADHD crap in this one. so so
I
thank you
might know
so
some people. Yeah.
thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure,
Yeah, likewise.
and
Thank you for having me.
I'll see you around on Twitter.
All right. See you there.
Bye.
Bye.